Hi, my name is Shantan, and in this session I'm going to show you how to configure and run SBFD for MPLS Acer LSP. When I say MPLS Acer LSP in the context of SBFD, what I mean is LSP initiated by ISIS Acer. Before going into the configuration details in IxNetwork, let us first quickly see what is SBFD. SBFD or seamless BFD is a stripped down version of original BFD, which is also known as classical BFD. SBFD is used to check the continuity of a path, maybe an IPv4 or IPv6 or MPLS path from source to destination in one direction. For example, in this topology, a path which starts from R1 goes through R2, R3, R4, R5 and ends at R6 could be checked using SBFD. And the source is known as initiator and destination is known as responder. In the context of IxNetwork, currently only SBFD over MPLS Acer path, which is initiated by ISIS Acer, is supported. So you can see that SBFD packets are sent through the MPLS path using MPLS labels, maybe multiple labels, to the responder, and when the responder responds back, either you can choose another MPLS path or it can just send plain IPv4 SBFD packets towards initiator. And if initiator receives the response from a responder, it concludes that uh, continuity is maintained through the path. So now let's go to IxNetwork and see how we can simulate the initiator and responder part. For that, I already have two back-to-back connected ports. So first, let me start with the responder part. So I would add ISIS, I would change it to only one router, and then I will enable segment routing, and let's say the SID is 1 for this router. And now let us add a simulated topology behind this. Maybe a series of routers, 3 routers connected in linear fashion. Let's enable ISIS Acer for this simulated router as well. And let's assume that the router capability ID and node prefix ID starts from 1.1.1.2 because I am already using 1.1.1.1 for the router which is in device group 1. And let's assume that SID starts from 2. So now we have 3 SIDs starting from 2 for the emulated routers. Now let me add MPLS-OM and then change the IPv4 loopback address to the node prefix of the emulated routers, that is 1.1.1.2 to 1.1.1.4, and in MPLSOM let's enable SBFD responder. SBFD responder should be configured with a global my discriminator. Let's see, or let's say that starts from 1002. So now my responder configuration is complete. Now let me configure the initiator side. For that, on the other port, first I would add ISIS, and then I would enable ISIS SR, and let's say this is 2.2.2.2, and SID is 100. And also we can add MPLS OAM here to emulate the initiator. Let me change the IP address so that they can walk back to back. Now I'd go to MPLSOM interface layer, and here I would configure 3, because on the responder side I have total 3 responder. On the SBFD initiator tab, I have these configurations, and here PR discriminator should be the global discriminator that has been configured on the responder side, which starts from 1002, and then the packets or SBFD packets from initiator should carry the MPLS labels that are needed to reach the loopback IPs of those responders, and those MPLS levels need to be configured manually. So in MPLS levels page, I would put the MPLS levels, which is basically the sRGB range plus SID, and I configured SID 2, 3 and 4 for those 3 responders. So level should be 16002, 16003 and 16004. Now let's start the simulation. So they're coming up, and now we can see everything turns to green. So let us first check the statistics for SBFD, and for that I would go to MPLS-OM interface port statistics. Here you can see two more pages for SBFD, SBFD initiator and SBFD responder. Let's first go to SBFD initiator. So it says that initiators configured 3. There are total 3 sessions, and then initiator sessions up 3. And then we have a count of TX and RX. Similarly, if we go to SBFD responder, we could see that it has responder side port has received total 186 SBFD initiator, and it has sent as many SBFD responder. So this is how SBFD is configured for initiator as well as responder. Let us capture some packet and see the packet exchange. Um, Here you can see, for example, packet number 5 carries the MPLS level 16004, which is for the third responder. And if I go to BFD packet inside, so we could see that your discriminator is 3EC, which is basically, I believe, 1004, because that is what we configured. And when it replies back 1.1.1. From 1.1.1.4, it's a plain IP packet, so there is a clear difference. So destination was 127.0.0.1, and but when reply was done by SBFD responder, it was done using IP destination address, which is basically routable, and source is also the routable IP address 1.1.1.1.4. And before I conclude, one more thing is that initiator could be configured with initiator sessions rather could be configured with multiple levels. For example, here for these sessions, there could be more than one level. So let's say there could be 3 levels, and when it's configured like this, then SBFD packet from initiator would carry the levels or the multiple levels configured, and the order would be like the leftmost one is the innermost level and the rightmost one is the outermost level. And also, if some level, for example, maybe for first initiated session 3 levels are needed, and for the second initiated session 2 levels are needed. So for such a configuration, a level could be configured with a value 3, which means that ultimately the SBFD packet for that session would carry or would omit that particular level. So in this case, it's going to carry 16003 and 16001 in the packet. So that's all I have for seamless BFD in IxNetwork. Thank you for watching.